And we're live. Welcome, Bobcat fans. This is Bobcat Turf Talk. I'm your host, Richie Stone. We're here with Gilmer head coach Kevin Saunders, live from Circuit World here in LJ. And Coach had a tough game Friday night. Got a big lead early. Some things that started going wrong against Ridgeland there in the second half. But overall, I was very impressed with how the team played against such a big opponent that I think is probably going to play deep into the playoffs if you want to get down to it. And, so, I mean, what are your takeaways and thoughts on it?
Well, I hate we keep coming on here and we're always coming up short for where we're playing. But, I mean, I guess it's much more improvement than what's been done in the past with these kids and how we've done. You know, I think we've lost most, other than the first game, I think our losses are 10 points or less. So I do think we're getting better. The other night, they're a really good football team, a lot more speed than we have, and that was pretty evident for the most part. But I thought, all in all, our kids held them pretty much in check, and were extremely physical, probably the most physical we've been all year, which I was really proud of. We just got to keep getting better, and hopefully we'll get some breaks for change. We got the lead, and then our quarterback gets hurt. Seth, who replaced Spencer, he gets hurt, and he breaks and gets a spiral fracture in his right hand. He can't throw the ball, so he plays as much as he could, taking snaps, and he finally just couldn't take it anymore. And I admire him for doing what he did. And then Kyle Allison getting hurt again on defense really hurt, because we had Ashton White, moved him defense tackle, and had him and Bradburn into two defensive tackles, and they were outstanding at defensive tackle. The two of them were really good together, and our two inside. I mean, we had a really, really good defense out there, and we were holding them in check until that happened. Then we had to move some people around, and it gets you in a bind.
And we'll get to that point about the quarterback situation. You're going to be moving to your third quarterback of the season.
Yep.
Due to injury. Also, with, like you said, with Ashton, it's odd seeing somebody with number 24 playing defensive tackle. You don't see that
Well,
much,
you like that. I mean,
he did a good job.
He's an athlete. I mean,
absolutely.
It's like if you watch Auburn and those guys play, they got guys wearing number 8, number 5 down there playing at Auburn. I mean, those guys can run.
Right.
And Ashton's a running back playing, defensive
absolutely.
line. And in years past, in most places I've been, I like playing active, athletic defensive linemen, not as much the bigger ones. I just like the athletic defensive linemen because they can do a lot. Then you don't have to stun as much.
Right.
And like Friday, I don't even think we blitzed maybe 3 times all night. And they're getting very comfortable in the defense we're playing. And they know the adjustments to make now, so it's getting better.
And as the game evolves, I mean, bigger picture outside of Georgia high school football, you're seeing a lot more of those almost hybrid defensive ends and tackles that can get in pass coverage or disrupt routes coming in. I mean, a lot of different things.
The key to it is now with all the spread teams, you got to get in the backfield. You got to put pressure on the quarterback.
Sure.
So you got to have people that can run to get to the quarterback. And then that way, if you notice, people are dropping 8 people in the coverage. And we did that some the other night. We dropped 8 in the coverage, and we're getting pressure on the quarterback with just 3 people. And so I feel really good about where we are with that.
Being able to create confusion and having guys doing different things in coverage,
yep.
And that's a big part of the spread
it
too.
Is.
And, but back to the game. So opening kickoff, you guys get it, and really a great opening drive.
Oh yeah.
Get down to about the 9-yard line, and what was y'all's thought process? That the Cats went for it on 4th down, didn't get it. Were you looking to make I
don't think field goals were going to win the game.
Right.
Because they could go at any time to the house. Mm-hmm. And they have a great field goal kicker. And they have a very good kicker. And we got a good kicker. But my thing was, we thought about it, and I felt like they couldn't stop us, and they jumped into the defense, and we missed a block there, and that's why we didn't get it. If we could have had maybe Spencer in there, we probably could have sneaked it. But it's what it was. I thought it was a good call on our part because I felt good that we pinned them deep. We also flipped the field and field position. I think I coached a lot with field position, and your best 4th down play is a punt.
Right.
It really is, and we have outstanding punt and punt coverage team, but we just want to give ourselves a chance right there, and then we 3 and out them right there.
Absolutely.
After they get it. So I felt good where we were.
Yeah. So pinning them that deep, I mean, you're lucky to have a punt that gets to inside the 10-yard
Correct.
line. So making a team like that have to go 90 plus is is really big. And like you said, you force a 3 and out. They tried to looked like they were pretty exotic with things, trying to try some stuff out and maybe go for a big play early. It didn't happen, and really had their offense off kilter there at the beginning, and so they punted away, and then Kobe breaks the big run.
Correct.
And then the second or third play, you go over top. Talk about
Yeah,
that
we
one.
go over top. I felt Braden's becoming a really good receiver, and Seth throws the ball good. I mean, we're fortunate this year to have 2 good quarterbacks with Spencer and Seth, and it was just whoever beat out whoever was going to be the quarterback. It didn't matter who they were or what, and we'll do the same thing next year.
Sure.
I'm big on the kids got to earn their position. Somebody next year might come out and beat you out. Doesn't mean you're going to be the starter. So, that's one thing I do think our kids know, and the competition is there about every day. But I liked our matchup right there. We thought about taking a shot right there, and we did. And it worked out good. We've worked on that all year. It was the same pass we threw the week before.
I was going to say, looked like the same play.
It was the exact same play, the one that we threw, Northwest in the mud. But this time Braden did a good job bending it more to the sideline. He got the guy pinned, and Braden went by him. So, but, he learned from the week before how to really run that route. And, that's lack of his experience. But he had his best game of the year, especially defensively. I mean, he's 6'3", he's 190 pounds out there playing outside linebacker, and he can run.
Right.
So he's got long arms and stuff, and I like our matchups with him at receiver.
So you go up 7-0. He makes a really great play on the ball, goes up to get it, and stays in bounds for the touchdown. You make the extra point. Then they respond.
Oh yeah,
rather quickly.
Well, they can go rather quickly. I mean, they're athletic and really fast. I mean, they have 21 seniors, and we got 5, and their seniors are in really experienced positions: running back, receiver, offensive line, defensive back, that kind of thing. That those are the main things that you got to have great upperclassmen in.
Sure.
You can get by playing freshmen on the defensive line and that kind of thing, but not in the offensive line and not at quarterback.
And these are guys that have been going to the playoffs every year of their varsity life. And,
they're playing for region championship every year.
Yeah,
last year they played Pickens. This time, last year they were playing Pickens for the region championship. And so, we're right there. I mean, if like Pickens, we played them close, played Northwest. Northwest and Heritage was playing for the regional championship, and, we played right there with both of them.
Right.
So we're not far off. It's just our lack of experience shows at times, and it's hard to see unless you are used to it. I mean, there's certain things that early in the year we couldn't make adjustments really well because they need to just learn how to play, and we're getting better at that.
And like you said too, I mean, Ridgeland has a lot of guys that can go, and it's almost the kind of thing where you have so many go-tos that you get you almost get away from what works. And,
well, yeah, I was hoping that they wouldn't give the ball to numbers. Was it 6?
Yeah, 6 and 16, the
Yes.
two brothers, and then 3.
3 was one that absolutely had to,
He scored the first one, I
Yes.
believe.
And then wasn't he the one that got hurt?
He was, yeah. He gets injured, so
That helped us.
yeah. Well, yeah, and you hate to say it, but when someone comes off the field, it's
That's that good. It's hard to replace them.
absolutely. So they come back quick, hit the big touchdown, and then you guys really respond back and take it. I think that might have been the drive with the fumble, and it was open. That reverse.
Oh yeah,
whatever
the
you
counter
guys
crisscross we run. Yeah, it was open.
And that really took a little bit of wind out of the sails, but the defense came back, and I thought that was one of the biggest defensive statements of the game, responding to that turnover when they had the chance to then take the lead.
Oh yeah, I agree with that wholeheartedly. We played last 2 weeks we've played really well on defense, and to keep them bottled up as long as we did, I knew 7 points we weren't going to be able to hold them to 7 points. They're just too athletic and too explosive.
That was the drive, I believe, where they went for it on fourth down, broke it for a touchdown. It was called back, and then they tried the little screen pass. Looked like they thought they'd probably seen something on film from your previous
Correct.
games that you guys have cleaned up.
Yes.
And that was a huge play. And you
Yeah.
get the ball back with, I want to say, 5 minutes or so?
Around 5 minutes.
Pinned back a little bit, and perhaps the best drive of the season, and I mean that.
Yeah.
Going in and being able to score before halftime.
Oh, it's huge.
Talk a little bit about what that means to the team.
Well, it means big, especially because they're going to get the ball to start the second half. So we needed to get something going right before halftime because I thought going in 7-7 and tied at halftime would be great. I thought holding them 7 points in the half would be great. If we could get a field goal out of it before half, I thought, that would be good. But Gary and Trey Rickman and Daly and Johnstone and my offensive coaches and Coach Thurman, they did a great job getting the kids prepared offensively. I thought they did an outstanding job getting our offensive team ready to play, and we could do some things that they really had a good idea of what to do, and it worked.
And it's an old cliche, but they say great teams, good teams score before halftime, and that, I mean, at least in my experience, that couldn't be more true.
I agree with that, and we did. And I felt going into halftime, kids felt really good about themselves. We were playing very physical. We were tackling good for the most part, and it is what it is. And I can't fault anything that we really did the other night.
And come out second half, like you said, they get the ball. We'll talk a little bit more about that when we come back from the break, but. The whole idea of the senior night and everything, you put the seniors out there as the captains, and it was really about them. Talk about that for a little bit.
Well, these seniors have experienced a lot, and they've gone through a lot, and I couldn't be more proud of the seniors and what they've done this year. I mean, they've brought Gilmer football back. These 5 kids have bought into what we are doing. And for them to do it and stick it out, because truthfully, when a new staff comes in anywhere, you really don't owe the older kids anything. I mean, that's harsh to say, but it is what it is. But those kids have bought into it, and they've done a great job. We've had to move some of them's positions that they've played in the past, and they've done well. I mean, look, Dylan Ellington was an all-region offensive guard last year, and he's had a great year for us at tight end. I mean, we run behind him about all the time. And, all of them have done a really good job. I mean, I'm really proud of them, and they've stuck it out, and they've done everything we've asked them to do. And younger kids see it, and it's carried over. I mean, and that's a tribute to these 5 seniors.
It was really nice to see them honored before the game and be the captains, and they really contributed in that game. But we're going to pick up with the second half when we get back. We're going to take a break real quick. Shout out to our sponsor, Shane's Rib Shack, along with PepsiCo Bottling, and we're live here from Circuit World, also here in LJ, and we'll be back.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in LJ, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair, and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on-site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident Stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
The underdog. The long shot. The nobody from nowhere, never gonna happen in your dreams, kid. 100 to 1 shot. We know something about that. That putting your feet on that path to greatness and grinding it out day after day is a long, long road that can lead you to the promised land. And that's why we believe. We're with you every step of the way.
I'm Jeff Riblett, President of Asset Protection Group. As a certified financial planner and with 20 years experience, I've helped thousands of families and business owners create a tremendous amount of wealth. Fortunately, most of that wealth has been protected. Don't allow an unforeseen life event, such as a nursing home stay or the next market meltdown, destroy your family's wealth. Be smart. Call me. Let's determine how best to protect your assets and preserve your wealth.
Circuit World has complete queen bedroom packages at amazing prices. Get this queen bed, dresser and mirror, one nightstand, bedding set, and free 32-inch TV, all for only $1799.99 or $129.99 a month. Or get this complete queen bedroom set and sleep in style, also for only $1799.99 or $129.99 a month. What an incredible deal! Stop in today at one of our 5 locations and get the furniture you've always wanted at Circuit World.
And welcome back. I'm your host, Richie Stone. This is Gilmer Bobcat Turf Talk. I'm joined, as always, by head coach Kevin Saunders. We're coming at you live from Circuit World in LJ, and we're talking a little bit about the game last Friday. let's go to the second half. You come out of halftime up 14-7. You guys then have to kick off. Really big stop on those guys. Talk a little bit about what you saw and
well, we told our
that kind of
kids,
thing.
you know, they hadn't learned how to play in a big game also, and they played in some big games, but now they're in a big game with elite. And we told them how important the first 4 minutes of the second half were. We had to establish ourselves again to start the second half. We needed to get a 3 and out. If we could come up with a 3 and out to start the second half, that would be great. And then we did. You know, we get the ball back. We go up 21-7, and I feel pretty good about it right then.
Yeah, I mean, that first drive after you force the 3 and out, you guys go on 6 minute plus drive, bleed a lot of clock. It's looking pretty good. Go up 21-7. I'm standing there thinking to myself, man, I think this might be the night where everything finally falls in our favor. You know, because so much of it is luck and things going. You know, there's such a small margin of error. You know that, and they get the ball back, and I guess they had to come to Jesus at halftime and decided they were going to simplify things and really just started running the same play over and over again.
And they ran the same kid every play.
Yeah.
You know, and they pretty much ran the same kid every play. So, and he's an outstanding football player.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he ended up carrying it 35 times, 36 times.
And how much of that was in the second half?
About every play second half.
Yeah, because they came out, even what they were in looked different. I mean, It was almost like a split veer kind of look or a wing tee. I couldn't really tell.
Stuff. It was buck sweep.
Yeah.
And they were and he was just running the ball. And then they got him to where they just snapped him the ball.
Yeah, why not, right?
Yeah.
So they come back right after you guys score. They respond quickly, and it's 21-14. By this point, Seth is hurt.
Seth's hurt, and then Kyle gets hurt.
Gotcha. And Kyle got hurt on offense or
on defense?
On defense. So you guys get the ball back. You move it. I think that drive you did pick up one first down, but then you end up punting, and man, they were like a machine after that. I mean, they went right down the field, and before you know it, we're tied.
Correct, and it was just a lot of it had to do with the fact we had some kids that we had to move around, and that hurt. And then they decided just the best player on the field for both teams started carrying the ball every play.
And they so they go. I think we go into the fourth quarter with the lead.
We do.
21-14,
Correct.
which is still, I mean, if you would have told me before the game, I would have said, well, that's fantastic.
Yeah, it is. And I agree. I don't know if anybody thought we'd have a lead on Ridgeland.
No.
And I don't know when the last time that Gilmer did have a lead on Ridgeland in a long time in football.
Well, I don't even know if they've been in their region long enough to where they ever have.
I agree.
So, we'll get into that a little bit later, too, about how these regions are lined up. But they come back, and then by the time they tie it up, it kind of all the momentum felt like it was firmly over there, and I don't know, kind of inevitable. I don't want to be rude about it, but things definitely changed.
They did, and the other thing is we couldn't throw the ball, and we couldn't do some things offensively with Seth being hurt. And we couldn't do some things defensively with Kyle being hurt.
Right.
And then you got to look at it. We're playing two backups at safeties. Our two safeties are backups. And I thought Donnie had an outstanding game. Probably his best game of his high school career was the other night. And, he's senior, and he's bought into it, and he's done a really good job. He had probably his best game. And and then Owen Fisher came in as a 10th grader and played as well as he could have. And he did a good job. But the thing is, when you get kids hurt, for some people, you only replace them one. For us, it's like replacing 2, 3, or 4. Because Seth's also our punter.
Right.
He's also our holder on extra points. And it just, there's a lot that goes on in it. And so we got to get to the point where we get more kids out next year and we create some more depth. And I think we will. But, that took a little bit of its toll. And, our kids played hard all the way to the end. And, we stopped them right there and made them kick a field goal. I thought we had a chance to make a block, the field goal, because they'd done a couple things earlier and every one of their extra points that we saw on film. And then we saw up top, and Heath, our special teams coordinator, told me what we needed to do, and we did it. And sure enough, they blocked it the complete opposite way that they'd been doing. So that kind of hurt us.
That's just the way it falls sometimes.
Yes,
isn't
it is. It is, and it is. It's just not our time yet. And truthfully, the better team probably did win. I mean, they're probably better than us. They're older than us, and they got more athletes right now than we do.
But even when they then go up 28-21 and late in the game, but I said if you would have told me we had a lead going into the fourth quarter, I would have said that's great. But if you would have also told me that Gilmer would have been within 7 with a chance to go down there and either tie or win the game that late, I think that would have been great too. So,
well, we get the ball back, and Seth just can't take a snap anymore. I mean, it's banging on his hand, and he couldn't do it. And I admire him for what he did.
Absolutely, and like you said, you forced the field goal, and a block there would have swung everything. So, all in all, at least to me, as an outsider looking in, the team has gotten better week by week as we go, and that's something that a lot of folks in football will tell you, that a measure of a good team, no matter what their record is how they progressed. Is that something you?
That's what we look at. I mean, we're trying to build a program, not a one-year thing. So to build a program, you got to compete every Friday, and we do that. We got to gain experience by playing. It's a process. We got to put our kids in situations for them to make plays. Like Braden the week before at Northwest is a perfect example. Mm-hmm. His route didn't bend it. We didn't get the fade down the sideline. Sure enough, we do it again Friday, like I said earlier, against Ridgeland, and sure enough, he runs it, makes a great catch, great burst to the goal line to score. So, I mean, things like that have got to get better, and they've gotten better. Our little changing certain blocking assignments during the game, they're better at. And it's just a long process. And then hopefully we can get to that point where we are. I mean, we're down to our third-string quarterback this Friday, which I feel really good about. I think Will Kiker's going to make a good quarterback. He's a really good athlete. He's a freshman, and he's got good people around him. And we're not going to ask him to do stuff he can't do.
And it's like you said with play. You mentioned earlier about playing with the lead and learning how to play with the lead, and you can't play or know how to play well against a very good team with the lead until you actually go through it. And that's something that 8-9 weeks ago was completely foreign to this group.
Oh, no doubt. I mean, everything that they've done and we've done is all in the learning curve of the whole season. It's about building a program. And that's just even like how they're supposed to, like, they did not know to take 2 pair of cleats with them over to Northwest to play in the monsoon. Things like that. Just take an extra pair of socks so after that it gets wet, you take it off.
Right.
How to dress for a cold game. You're going to wear sleeves, you're not going to wear sleeves. What kind of sleeves you can wear according to the position you're going to play. Do you play with gloves in the cold? Do you play with gloves outside the cold? Do you play gloves with a wet field or not? I mean, all this is things you have to teach them that, people I don't think really understand. We're teaching them everything they got to do to be successful, and it's really starting to pay off. I mean, it's like in the weight room. Every time they're in the weight room, we're teaching them technique there and teaching them, what weight they got to use. It's competition in the weight room. You got to compete. It's you against that bar. You got to get better every day, and those things that they're doing they're doing it, and it's paying off. You can see it on the field Fridays.
And it's a cliche that I'm sure a lot of our fans are familiar with when they watch ESPN, that sort of thing, of the term "change the culture." But what that means really is, having, a couple years down the line, you're going to have juniors and seniors that have been in the program a while to where you're not going to have to worry about that. They'll see the upperclassmen and their teammates doing that, and it allows you guys to move on to other things. But, like you said, with the gloves and the sleeves and that sort of thing, I mean, a lot of coaches take that for granted. And
yeah, I mean, but, and then there's some that don't have any of that. So you don't want them cold on the sideline, so you got to get them ready to play.
Right.
And, it's like we got to teach them how to, we want them to eat a certain way. And we give them protein during the day so they can, keep their bodies functioning. And it's the whole thing is a process, and it's changing the culture. You got to go from a losing mentality to now I'm a competitor and I have a chance to win.
And quickly before we head on out here, we're about wrapped up. little bit more about what to expect out of the freshman quarterback, Will Kiker. Like we said, he's going to be your third starter, I guess, in 3 weeks. And then a little bit about Lafayette. I know they were in a barn burner down in Jasper last week.
Yeah, they're a really good football team. Got some athletes. They run very well. Same record as us. They've beat the same people we have, played the same people we have, close, done a lot what we've done. We're very similar as far as how the results have turned out of these games. But, we just got to take care of ourselves, like I say, every week. And Will's just got to go in and not get wrapped up into the game and everything and just relax. And I think the guys around him will do a good job of taking care of him with that. I mean, I have a lot of confidence in Will. He was our JV quarterback this year and did a really good job. He's a very good athlete. He plays for us on all our special teams to begin with all year. So it's not, he's just going to have to play. And I mean, he had a really good day of practice today.
And it's a great opportunity to get him in their last game of the season. Looking to get that big fourth win, which would be just an outstanding improvement over where things have been. So I know everybody around the community is real proud of the job you guys have had, and hopefully next Monday we'll be right back here talking about a victory.
Be great.
Once again, wanted to thank our sponsors, Shane's Rib Shack for the delicious food and sweet tea, and PepsiCo bottling. We don't have any Pepsis here, but I assure you they're here if we didn't want the tea. But thanks for joining us tonight. Once again, my name's Richie Stone. We'll see you guys next week.